Today, Caleb Williams hosted his long-awaited pro day at USC. It was a lot of people in attendance. Started off as a very gloomy day out here in Los Angeles, but the sun eventually came out. The weather is currently gorgeous right now, and Caleb Williams, man, he had a really great day. I don't think this day could have went any better for Caleb and for the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears had a huge contingent of people out there today, at least 9 people that we saw. Of course, general manager Ryan Poles, head coach Matt Eberflus, quarterback coach Kerry Joseph, offensive coordinator Shane Waldron, and a couple other names there as well. And of course, the surprise that I saw was Mr. Keenan Allen, who just got acquired by the Bears not even a week ago in a trade from the Los Angeles Chargers. He pulled up with his agent. His agent was the white lady who had the death row jacket on. No, a lot of people are like, who's that old white lady with the death row jacket on? One thing about out here in LA, man, you'll find death row merchandise any street you walk on. Shit, I got 2 death row shirts here at the crib. So I'm pretty sure she might have got that from Snoop himself. But that was a surprise here. There were some other teams there. Dan Quinn and Cliff Kingsbury were also in attendance for the Commanders. There was representatives from all 32 teams, but definitely not as deep as the Chicago Bears had their contingency out there today, man. There was a lot of good things that happened. I want to give a couple quotes outside of the actual performance. I mean, these things about these pro days, man, you really can't do too much about them. Very rarely do you see quarterbacks bomb a pro day. It's basically a glorified workout pretty much, man. But he looked good, had a couple of good throws, couple of passes that were dropped. It was mainly on the receiver's fault, in my opinion, but Caleb, being a great teammate that he is, he blamed it on himself. But excuse my throat, man, pause. But he had a great throw towards the end of the pro day, had a couple deep balls. And, one thing that really peaked was in the background, you can see Eberflus and Poles there, man, and they had a great embrace. Poles even was able to even talk to Carl Williams, who is Caleb Williams' father, as well as Matt Eberflus. And he was kind of playing in the background, just like all of these reports that we saw from Adam Hogue of CSGO. He had an article about Caleb probably like a month ago that said from his research, talking to everybody who, went to high school with Caleb, who went to USC and Oklahoma with Caleb, that Carl Williams, despite all the bullshit attraction that he gets from the media, who try to act like he's this overbearing father, which they only do with black fathers, by the way. When a black father's in a player's life, they want to act like they're doing too much and shit. But they also said that he doesn't get involved in football decisions, that he's Caleb businessman pretty much. And that looked like that was the case today. He wasn't all in the videos, stayed in the background, played his part, and kept the attention on his son. But it was a great showing for Caleb. The reason I say this day couldn't have gone any better for the Bears is because of interactions you saw with Caleb and Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus and Kerry Joseph and Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen being there was a big thing. I don't want to gloss over that because the man hasn't even been a Chicago Bear for a week. He's out there. I've never seen a current player come to a potential draft picks pro day. Now, we do know that Caleb and Keenan have had a relationship for about a year. They've been cool. Of course, with Caleb playing at USC the last 2 years and Keenan spending all his career out here in Los Angeles, that doesn't shock me whatsoever. But him to pull up and show that, support, I thought was dope. And I don't know if he decided to just come out of his own volition or this was something the Bears asked him to do. Either way, it's an extremely good look. But I want to give some quotes from Brad Biggs of the Chicago Tribune, my fault. Put out an article not too long ago, and there was a couple things that really stood out to me about this article, some good nuggets from there. I'm gonna read a couple quotes from there. He put, when the Bears contingent arrived in California, they were feeling good about Williams the player, and eager to learn more about Caleb Williams the person. After spending parts of 3 days together, they came into Los Angeles on Monday. It's safe to say that the Bears have made a large step towards making Williams the number 1 pick on April 25th. First, they met with Williams and a collection of his USC teammates who also participated in Wednesday morning's pro day. On Monday night at the Bird Street Club over here in West Hollywood, the Bears got to spend time with Williams to see how he fits with his teammates. They've gotten strong reviews in that area for months as they saw input from teammates, coaches, and staff members past and present. What's he like? How does he fit in? Is he authentic? The responses have been overwhelmingly positive. On Tuesday, the team spent nearly half the day on the USC campus with Williams at the football facility, talking ball, doing work on the whiteboard, and watching film. Williams' attention to detail struck the Bears. He was the one taking notes, not team officials. And they studied the game, and they studied the game and saw insight into Williams' acumen and how he processes and learns. It was great, Caleb Williams said of the extended time with the Bears after only a quick 20-minute interview at the scouting combine last month. Just building a relationship. They're trying to see if I'm the right fit to be the first pick as a quarterback and possibly the face of this franchise. They're trying to figure out if this is the guy they should invest all this time, energy, and effort and money into, which is obviously important. It was great. There's remaining business. The team needs to host Caleb Williams on a top 30 visit to Hallis Hall and put him through a medical examination. They don't expect any surprises. The only issue he had in college was a minor hamstring minor hamstring injury. That visit probably won't happen until the first or second week of April, man. I think that's a great thing. If you're a Bears fan, that's all the music you want to hear to your ears. And to me, what I take from that is that this is pretty much a done deal. Now, I do know Caleb was asked right after the pro day by NFL Network if he expected to be the number one pick, and he gave a nice little laugh. So I won't say I'm expecting to be the number one pick like it happened in the next 30 days. But basically, the vibe I got from him was, yes, I know I'm going to be the number one pick, but I'm not going to get in trouble saying I'm going to be the number one pick. So the Bears will go through the motions. I mean, not go through the motions, but go through the evaluations of other quarterbacks. I think there's reported they will be at the Michigan pro day. They're going to go to the LSU Pro Day next week, which is the 27th, to scout Jaden Daniels and, of course, Malik Neighbors. And I think they're going to the North Carolina Pro Day to scout Drake May, as you should do. I think, like I said on the Monday show on the local hour, if you're taking anything from this, you're doing too much. They should do their due diligence. You should always have a backup plan. Now, I think this is a 99% chance that Caleb Williams will be the pick in about 33, 34 days. But you should always have a backup plan. It's like I said this on Monday, but it's like being engaged. You expect to get married unless something catastrophic happens. And, unless something catastrophic happens in this next month, Caleb Williams will be the pick. But you should always have a backup plan because I don't expect a nigga to come up in my crib and rob me. But you goddamn right. I do got a fucking plan if a nigga comes in here and rob me. A little weapon in this house that will protect me if that thing happens. So the Ryan Poles and the Bears should have a backup plan just in case something happens. So because it's not done until Roger Goodell walks up to that podium over there in Detroit, Michigan, and says with the number one pick in the 2024 NFL draft, the Chicago Bears select quarterback Caleb Williams from the University of Southern California. Until that happens, you should always have a backup plan. And this is something that we haven't seen from past regimes. When the Bears drafted Mitchell Trubisky, they only scouted him and Patrick Mahomes, and they didn't scout Deshaun Watson. They didn't scout anybody else. So you should always do your due diligence. And I know it's been 7 years, but I still can't get over the fact that these motherfuckers said, well, if we don't get our guy Mitch, there's Patrick Mahomes. Like that night, granted, I know everybody expect Patrick Mahomes to be what he is now. I get that. And even at the time, I wouldn't even think about Patrick Mahomes. I wanted Freaky Sean on this team. So the fact that they didn't even scout Deshaun Watson at the time is just crazy and just shows you the negligence of that front office. So I think what they're doing right now is amazing. And the fact that they're going to have this not immediately, but in a couple weeks, that to me says that, we're pretty much done. We're just going to look at these other guys, and then we're going to get these medicals, and then we know exactly what we're going to do. And so I think this day couldn't have gone better for the Bears. It's an amazing feeling as a Bears fan. I tweeted today, I'm not going to lie, I was pretty fucking excited. I was, just all the hype around it, because you don't really get this with the Bears, especially on the offensive side of the ball. And there was even something that, I try not to read too much in the comments, but when he was interviewed after one of the many interviews he did after his pro day, he said that, talking about Keenan Allen and the relationship he had with Keenan, he said he came to the Bears for a fourth pick. He's here. And basically that to me was like a slip of saying he's here with us. So it's just good. I think anybody who's still talking that dumbass, what if he wants to go to Washington shit, y'all gotta stop. It was never valid, and it's definitely not valid now. He pretty much reiterated that again on Colin Cowherd's show today, when Colin Cowherd went on and said that, he loves Chicago. Chicago's his favorite city in America. Talked about how great the fan base is. And he asked him, like, when you go there, what do you think about that? And he said, if that is a team, I'm excited. I heard they got great fans. I heard they love football. They've got a great team, citing, DJ Moore and Keenan Allen and DeAndre Swift and the good defense. He said, I'll be very excited if that's the team I go to. So, hey, man, I'm hyped. I'm trying to, I'm going through a battle of being excited, but also still having that Bears pessimism of, when I get too excited, they break my heart. But I feel like this is a good time. This is the beginning of, I believe, a special era in Chicago, and I'm looking forward to it, man. And one thing I did peep on Bears Twitter today, kind of feels like even the Bears fans who are super pro Fields and were saying things about Caleb, it feels like they're slowly starting to come around. And today was the most unified I've seen Bears Twitter in a long time. So that was good to see, man. So that's just pretty much my instant reaction on Caleb's pro day. We'll do like a more in-depth conversation about his pro day on the Friday show.
And paper on these player haters, old news, money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna